Hey, so I haven't put up a video on this channel for a while, but I think it's kind of a video response. So I'm going to put this up on Hiko Talk, but I'm going to put it on my Twitter and everything else so that you guys all know that it's up. It is with regards to the video about the Nextup competition that Gimmeaflakeman, Victor, put up the other day. I've been asked by some people to give my thoughts on it. In fact, I've been asked all the way through to give my thoughts on who to vote for in the Nextup competition, and I've been very conscious about not wanting to endorse anybody, simply because one, when you try to do that, you always leave people out and people feel left out if you don't mention them, and two, looking at what the competition is and what it's about and what it's for, which I see it as being about finding people who are deserving of a 1-week video making camp and $20,000 plus $1,000 for video equipment to improve their video skills and to potentially make stuff which are watchable by everyone. So from that perspective, it's not necessarily just my friends, or it's not just something who you'd want. I want it to be people who deserve to have that the most. And the way that you decide who deserves that, that can be judged in all sorts of ways. You can look at it as people who have tried the hardest for the longest on YouTube, in which case some of the higher profile YouTubers are very deserving. Or there again, you can look at the people who, you can look at it that some people who've been on YouTube for a long time, maybe they're not going to improve anymore, they're just going to end up with more money. But you can look at some people and say, hey, these people have some talent, and these people could really build something bigger with the investment that the Nextup competition offers. At the end of the day, it's up to you how you judge it. And I am not going to suggest you vote for or against anyone. But what I'd suggest is this. One of the big problems, and there are a couple of problems, it's a great idea, but I've got my reservations about this competition being up for votes in the first place. I kind of feel like there should be a panel of people who can evaluate everybody objectively, because I think it's kind of cool that we can all vote for it, and I think that should be taken into account. But at the end of the day, I'm not sure democracy is the best way to settle this kind of a thing, and the main reason for that is I believe there are 90 entries, and 3 minutes of video, it's 270 minutes, so that's like oh god, I should have thought of this in advance, so it's like 4.5 hours of videos. And not many people are going to watch 4.5 hours of 90 YouTube videos in order to make the fairest assessment of who's got the best case for this competition, let alone even if you did. I think it's really hard to say. It'll be hard to remember by the end of it, who's the most deserving, unless you're taking notes as you go through. And particularly, you're only allowed 1 vote per day. So even if you see a video and you think it's good and you want to vote, the way the competition is set up now, you might not want to vote. You want to hold on to that because there might be something else that's better that could come afterwards. I think as a result of this, the competition's kind of leaned in a way that, myself included, I haven't watched all 90 videos. I have watched some videos, almost always of people that I know, and I voted for different people. But this is the thing. In Victor's video, he said one thing I really agree with and one thing I really disagree with. The thing which I really agree with is that it's true. There are a lot of unknown people with no subscribers who nonetheless I think do have potential and could be deserving of the Nextup prize, in terms of what it's about developing new talent, or helping existing talent to get to the next level. And it's true that people without these networks already set up, as especially the case with a lot of Japanese YouTubers, they're not going to get people watching their video. And so as a result, whether or not they have a better video or not, they're not in the competition. There's a lot of people, most of the people I know have a huge head start on everyone just by the fact that we have subscribers who will watch each one of our videos and will listen to our messages to go and vote. I don't think that's an unfair disadvantage. That's the result of their hard work. But I think in terms of judging for the competition, sure, it's a big advantage. And so what I would suggest is what Victor's gone and done, and credit to the guy, and I don't think he's done it as an with an ulterior motive. I've talked with him about this directly, including my criticism that I'll come to. In fact, we've both talked about this and how I think it's about raising up smaller guys. And he has gone through and he's looked at a lot of the smaller and lesser known video creators who have made entries, and he's picked out a selection. I think of there's more than 10 anyway. It certainly isn't all of them, but he's picked out what he thinks are the best 10 or 15 smaller videos, and he's featured them on his video. And I think that's a really cool thing. And truth be told, a lot of those videos, probably most people aren't going to check them in the competition just the way that it's set up, and so they're at a big disadvantage. So what I'd suggest to you is this. I think there's only 1 or 2 days left of voting, so there's only 1 or 2 votes that you have left. 1 vote per day, of course. Go and have a look at Victor's video, which this is a video response to, but I'm going to link in the video response below. And don't worry too much about what Victor's saying, but definitely check out the videos that he recommends, because they are a good selection, and they are, if they're videos that you haven't seen before, vote for who you want to vote for on the final day. But throw these videos into your consideration, particularly if you've never seen them before, which in my case I hadn't seen any of the videos that he recommended, which just goes to show the disadvantage that they're at. I think it is admirable that he's gone to the trouble of trying to make sure that some of these people who are starting a bit behind get to play somewhat on equal terms. I think that's what the competition's about, and I think it's more meaningful for everybody to make sure that everybody's being viewed more or less on the same terms. Albeit this is only on the last day or two now. It's already, this has been going on for ages, and it's most likely already decided. But I think it's worth watching his video, and it's worth watching his suggestions. And as he says, don't vote for him. Well, unless you think his video really is better than all the videos that he features and all the other people. Where I disagree with Victor, and I've told this to him, and I see it's caused some fuss among some of the other contestants. I think it's okay for him to say not to vote for himself. He can give permission to himself to do that, and I actually think he's a strange guy. I think he's actually sincere about saying that. I don't think that's a ploy to make himself look like a nice guy to get more votes. I genuinely think he's sincere when he means on the final few days. He thinks he's mobilized enough votes for himself, probably, and there are people who genuinely haven't had the ability to mobilize that kind of support, who he's suggesting might be deserving of it. The point is, he's gone through, not only done that for himself, but he's gone ahead and basically nominated all the big YouTubers, and he said don't vote for them. And there's a lot of money at stake here, and there's a lot of people who are very, very invested in this, and who are big and who are small and who are really taking this very seriously. And it's a fantastic, it's a huge opportunity, for some people. I mean, this is like, for some people it's more than half a year's salary. Closer to a year for some people if you're working part-time. So it's a really big deal, and I understand the upset that's been caused by saying don't vote for people, and I agree with that upset. You shouldn't. What I think it should be is that when you vote, if you vote because someone's your friend, I think that's crappy criteria actually, but that's any criteria that you have is valid. But the point is that the vote is more fair and the competition is more fair the more you're able to assess more videos and judge from amongst those. And I think if you're able to assess some videos, I don't think anybody's going to watch the whole 4.5 hours of videos up on their site. So to the extent that you can make your final judgment as to who's made the best video based on those, if you still think that Victor or Eric Surf 6 or Hikakin or those guys, if you think they've made the best video of the bunch, or they've made the best case out of all of them, or whatever, vote for who you want to vote for. But the point is, the good point that Victor made is that don't vote for them. Well, in fact, it shouldn't just be because they're the only person it should be because they've made the best video and they've got the best case for being accepted. So if those people, if those videos by those people are still the best in the bunch, by whatever criteria you use, be that who's the most deserving, who's like the biggest sob story, or who's worked the hardest over the longest period of time and built up the best channel, whatever your criteria is, apply it. say don't vote for anybody, but at the same time, I mean, I don't think he's saying vote for anyone. He's saying consider these people. I'll just point out as well, since this is on my blabbering pointlessly channel. This is to you, Victor. I know one of your pet peeves on YouTube is people who say please subscribe, and I don't really care about whether people say please subscribe or whether they attach the condition, if you think this is good, please subscribe. I know that you're someone who believes very strongly that you should only say, if you like this, subscribe, or whatever. You put that condition that, if you think I deserve it. I don't care either way, but applying your logic with regards to subscriptions, I think it applies here in this competition as well. You got to tag on that if they deserve it, or if they don't deserve it. I think it's telling people vote for this or don't vote for this. By your logic, and I think it has some merit, certainly in the case of a negative like this. You should say, don't vote for these people if you don't think they deserve it, having looked at these other videos. But if they deserve it, they should still get it. That's my view. So I think you're being inconsistent, and I'm calling you out on that. Anyway, but point said, I think Victor really is the only person who's really gone to any substantial trouble to try to make a summary of smaller and lesser seen videos in the competition, and he deserves some credit for that, if not necessarily your vote, unless you think he deserves it based on his video and his application. But I think he's got a good point. Some of these people might not have a chance in this competition, but they're worth considering anyway. So go and have a look at his video, which summarizes those videos really well and saves you a bunch of time. And before you use your final vote, consider from a broader field. I think that's a really good thing. So go and check out Victor's video, and best of luck to whoever takes the 10 people, I believe, who get the $20,000 2 million Japanese yen. I got that wrong in the Toyashi's video. It's so hard to talk converting all the time, but $1,000 for equipment and 2 million yen, or $20,000 for the competition, plus of course the 1 week at the creators camp. I'll be really interested to see how it works out for the people who win it this year, and hopefully I'll be in a situation that I might be able to enter myself next year, but this year I shall watch on with interest. Best of luck to everybody. There's some fantastic entries there, and I really wish I'd been able to check out everybody. And it'll be very interesting to see the results. So go and check out Victor's video, and tell him that he sucks if need be. I don't think you should say don't vote for people, other than yourself. You can say that. But at the same time, I think he's really done a good job of going and pulling up some smaller people who deserve a fair go, and showing them. So go and check out his suggestions and consider them, and make sure you vote on the final day for Nextup. Make sure you have your say. That's it from me. Anyway, just a few thoughts. Okay, peace.